Today is going to be good. This is the Smithsonian Institution's National Air and Space Museum. This time we've made it over to the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center. It is big. It is part of the Smithsonian. This should be interesting. Alright, so we're going to go straight and go left or right. This takes us into the Boeing Aviation Hangar. Hey, there's a pit special. The oldest surviving pit special, little stinker. Appropriate, it's upside down. Oh, there's so much in here. And the engines. And an SR-71. I honestly don't even know where to start, so we'll go down over here. What are you kidding? Grub and goose. You are kidding me. Where can I find this aircraft? There. Yes, it might take us more than a day. There's a Predator drone. There's I think that's a bird dog. An Apache. Chinook. I forget what that big one up there is called. It's Sea Ray maybe? Whoa! NASA Oblique Wing Research Aircraft. What's this? In the mid-1970s, NASA developed an Oblique Wing Research Aircraft, OWRA, a small remotely piloted aircraft to investigate the aerodynamics and flight characteristics of oblique wings. Its novel asymmetrical wing can pivot between 60 and 90 degrees around a center point on the fuselage. The subsonic propeller-driven proof of concept OWRA was built as a first step to test NASA's aerodynamicist Robert T. Jones' theory that a supersonic transport with an oblique wing would have twice the fuel efficiency of a conventional supersonic airliner. Test results encouraged NASA to build the AD-1 manned oblique wing aircraft that confirmed the design's low-speed flight characteristics. If I stop and read everything, we'll be here for days. The National Air and Space Museum recognizes the generosity of Lockheed Martin. Oh, so most of this stuff's Lockheed Martin. Look at the blade on the Apache. Oh, there's the Wasp. You're kidding me. Vertical flight, sport aviation, general aviation, business aviation, commercial aviation, pre-1920s aviation, World War II aviation. 7. Oh, other side. Over there is World War II aviation. Korea, Vietnam, Cold War aviation, modern military aviation. How are you, Allied?
That's all. What
Doing well, thank you. Aerobatics, German World War II aviation, ultralights and interwar military aviation. Bolus. So within a remarkably short space, you've got cutaways of the R4360 Wasp Senior or Wasp Major. You've got a turboprop Allison T56A1, and you've got a General Electric J31. And they're all unique. I know that the one behind me is reciprocating, but what the difference... Okay, that's a turboprop, and this is a jet. I believe this is a jet engine, this is a turboprop, this is a radial, this is a reciprocating, and this is a radial engine. So much to see and more. This is a giant Lycoming. 36-cylinder Lycoming. Largest, most powerful reciprocating engine in the world, aircraft engine in the world. During World War II, the U.S. Army Air Forces requested an engine with high takeoff power and low fuel consumption, and yet to be designed long-range bomber and transport for I can't even read, I'm so excited to be here. Zenith two-throat float-type carburetor, puddle carburetor, Stromberg type NAR6 single-throat float-type carburetor, and of course a Curtiss A2. I don't quite know what this Bates Model 2A is. I mean, look at the designs on some of these. So much to see. Japan's first jet aircraft. That looks fun to fly. Early 1960s. It's a drone helicopter. That engine, Boeing T50BH. I can't tell quite what that engine is. But it's an early drone helicopter for anti-submarine action. T-38 Talon and a Grumman Goose. The Oka Cherry Blossom Model 22 was designed to allow a pilot with minimal training, this isn't funny, to drop from a Japanese Navy bomber at high altitude and guide his aircraft with its warhead at high speed into an Allied warship. That's not funny, but yet it is. So this is designed to, well, it's a purpose-built kamikaze bomb. Yeah, you know, why not? That then the Enola Gay. Yeah. That then the Enola Gay. The Baby Albatross is one of the most successful kit-built sailplanes. 1938. It looks like a bolus. There is a whole series of evolutionary steps in the design and build of helicopters here, but there is one which has particular appeal. This one's fascinating, the flying platform. But here we have the rotor cycle. And I actually came back to show this one. The rotor cycle was so stable a non-pilot could fly it after only 8 hours of instruction. Didn't quite understand the whole thing. Yeah, there it is. There's your control pedals and your cyclic and your collective. So much here, including the Virgin Atlantic thingy. And pretty much around every corner there's more things to engage you. Lowered collective, low pitch, raised collective, high pitch. Flying lifts. Ooh, we've seen that. Maybe we've seen this. No, we've seen this one. It's actually really big. Clipper Flying Cloud, and next to it, the Sky Baby. And a Belanca CF. Alright, so we've come down this entire row and we're closer to understanding how the rocket engine works. Significantly closer. I'm not ready to explain it yet, but we are by far the closest we have ever come to understanding it. These are early guided bombs, including something called a bat bomb. Bat missile, maybe? Some absolutely fantastic stuff here. Fritz X guided bomb. The Fritz X, possibly Fritz 10, also known as the Ruhrstahl 9, was a precision-guided, armor-piercing bomb used with deadly effect by Germany in World War II against Allied ships in the Mediterranean. I mean, there's just so much of this stuff here. It's incredible. This is then the second shuttle that we've seen recently. This is the Discovery. Manipulator foot restraint. They're pretty big, these things. Poseidon missiles. And then mixed in to the whole thing, you've got little exhibits that talk about guidance systems and how stuff was developed. This then, the SNARC guidance system. Air-breathing subsonic winged missile designed to carry a nuclear warhead from base in the United States to targets on other continents. That's the guidance system. So we're going to read about that. It's hard not to get distracted. There's pulse jet engine things up there and missiles, and then this thing, which I think is a sun observatory. We'll go back to the map here and see what that actually is. I think it observes the sun. I take that back. That then is a homing overlay experiment test vehicle. It's an anti-ballistic missile. I mean, see, once again, it happened. I was over there looking at the guidance system, and then I saw that thing, and that's what's going to happen for the rest of the afternoon.
Which the bomb crew indicated they were that much closer to going home on rotation. The swastika represents Flak Bait's only confirmed kill against a German fighter in the air. These ducks represent decoy missions flown by Flak Bait, in which Flak Bait and its crew diverted the Luftwaffe away from the real target that American bombers were attacking. Finally, this black bomb represents a night mission flown by Flak Bait. In terms of the legacy of this airplane, the Army Air Forces saw it as an important aircraft. So rather than sending it to the scrap heap in the wake of World War II, they preserved it. They saved it in 1946, and by 1949, the newly created U.S. Air Force donated to the Smithsonian Institution.
A Grunau baby. Thousands were constructed in Western Europe between 1931 and 1945. I see lines that I've seen in Schweizers. Ah, a Delta Wing Model 162. That's Bill Bennett. That's a piece of history right there. Look at it, it's got like a swing set that you sit in. There's a seat belt. The split level design is pretty slick. I didn't even realize I was looking at that down there, and to be honest, I just realized I hadn't been through any of this section. But wait, there's more. There then, the Piper J3 Cub, in which we just did seaplane license. First built in 1938, the Piper J3 earned its fame as a trainer and sport plane. And there's one more level up there. It definitely has a presence, this one. It's no joke, that's the Enola Gay again. Somewhere is an IMAX theater. I've been here all day. I still don't. Claude Moore Education Center, Space Hangar, Restoration Hangar. So that's that way. Oh, I see the IMAX theater. I guess I must have passed it when I came in here. There's a glider. Rather, a sailplane. There's that Black Widow. That thing was cool. Alright, so I touched on this briefly earlier, but we're going to go through it quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and that appears to be it. Airbus IMAX Theater and Observation Tower. 1. Vertical flight. 2. Sport aviation. 3. General aviation. 4. Business aviation. 5. Commercial aviation. 6. Pre-1920 aviation. That's where we just were a minute ago. 7. World War II aviation. 8. Korea and Vietnam. 9. Cold War aviation. 10. Modern military aviation. 10. So all that is modern military aviation. 11 is aerobatics, 12 is German World War II aviation, 13 is ultralights, and 14 is interwar military aviation, 1920 to 1940. 14, straight across, where they're setting up the cocktails. Cool. We're gonna go down over here. And I walked around and I saw this stuff, but I was looking at this one, so I didn't even notice that was over there. The Mitchell U2 Super Wing. It doesn't look quite like that. And this doesn't look stable. It looks like your pitching moment would be kind of extreme. I would still enjoy flying it. This is then the vertical flight section. I forget what number this was, but this is kind of slick to see it from up here. I'm just gonna say this is why you fly instead of driving. There's total carnage. There's bodies lying in the street. I think I need to use my navigation to get out of here. That was a spectacular day at the Udvar-Hazy Air and Space Center. That was absolutely stunning how much aircraft material was in there in one building. Had a great time. Thank you for the hospitality. I'm now distracted by this, which is, I mean, I don't know how many people have collided here. Oh, that one's just done in properly. And these are sideways, and they're, oh, this is the end of the world. I think I need to exit here. There's people just hanging out and they're tailgating. All right, I definitely need my navigation. Goodbye, all.